What's up, everyone? JK-47 here. And today, you guys voted on targeting with the source on my Facebook page. So you voted to talk about poltergeists. So let's talk about some poltergeists and let's have some fun. I brought a special guest in. In your comments, I put a link to his investigation. Very good friend of mine. I love the guy. His name is James Fitzpatrick. I first reached out to James after seeing his episode on Paranormal Caught on Camera. And it was the most intriguing thing I've ever seen. Here's his screen here. This is the episode. It's season 2, episode 23. So if you have a Discovery Channel or the Discovery Plus app, go to this episode and watch it. And I don't know what this picture is portraying, but I know James is a good guy and he'd never have his feet up on the desk. So it's kind of bullshit for him. So I'm sorry about that, James. They're portraying you as a lazy security guard. That's not fair, man. But anyways, he's my best friend, man, and I've been talking to him for a while. This is what inspired me to get into the paranormal. As you know, JK-47 started in March of 2020. That's when I first built my Facebook page and started building a crowd. And this came out on 5/25/2020. And I reached out to James, and we were talking, and he was a little nervous at first, but I understood. And he's a great guy, and we ended up becoming very good friends. So with that in mind, let me bring James in here. James, what's up, brother?
What's going on, dude?
How you doing, man?
Oh, just living the American dream, bro.
That's right. That's right. How's the weather in Utah?
Cold, rainy, snowy, not bike weather.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow here tomorrow, so we're getting...
Yeah, we're getting like a foot of snow tonight, so...
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Has it been a bad winter for you?
Yeah, dude. Like, oh, man. The first year I have a bike is like the first year in like 20 years that Utah wanted to have an actual Utah winter. So
right, I saw your post on that bike. How is it, man? Is it pretty cool?
Oh man, it's a bike. That's for sure, man. It's
I can't believe the wife let you get that.
Oh, dude, it took it took me reaching out to a friend who has a pretty big bike influencer account on TikTok and on Instagram to convince her to let me get one. And the only condition is that if I die on the bike, my wife kills my friend who convinced her to let me get it. So
we agreed to that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't have that agreement about the investigation.
Yeah, right.
All right, brother. So welcome to Targeting with JK-47. I'm just here talking about paranormal stuff, and I know for most of your life, man, why don't you go ahead and open up, tell us when it started and everything that's happened up to the point of the show.
Yeah. So yeah, basically 5 years old, like on my 5th birthday, we moved into a new house, and like little kid, new house. I got freaked out. So I asked my dad to wait in the room until I fell asleep, and he did. And next thing I know is I'm waking up, it's dark in the room, and I'm just kind of looking around the room, and I noticed that I smelled something burning. And started seeing if there was anything and didn't know what the hell was going on. Then I just remember looking at the foot of my bed, and there was this massive shadowed out figure just standing at the foot of my bed. Freaked me the fuck out. And I pretty much sat up real quick and I yelled "Dad" as I was sitting up, and this tall figure just sunk down into the floor on the other side of the footboard for my bed. And when
this was this the very first experience that you've
had?
had?
This was the very first experience I had ever had.
Okay. And this was at your parents' house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's in Woodcross, or was it?
My parents' house is in Salt Lake, over by 9th and 9th.
All right. So you saw this dark shadow, and your dad came in, and obviously doing the dad thing. Oh, everything's okay, and trying to comfort you, right? But
yeah.
But what happened after that?
So basically, he checked everything under the bed, all around the room, behind the door, the closet, the whole dad spiel. And, of course, nothing. And then, so I go back to sleep, and we wake up the next morning, and it was probably, I want to say, like midday-ish. I go into my room for something. I think it was to get something off the bookshelf, and I noticed that the outside part of the footboard to my brand new wood bed frame had a bunch of scratches in it. And at the time, we didn't have a dog. We had a cat, but these scratches were like, I would probably have to say about like a 1/16 of an inch. So it was definitely like the tip of something, maybe like a little bit bigger than a pen. So, but yeah, that was the very first experience I ever had.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So let's fast forward a few years. And I know things happened from that time you were 5 all the way to how old are you now?
I'm 33 now, almost 34.
All right. So what, 20?
Yeah, 29, about almost, 29 years. Yeah.
Of dealing with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So let's get into your teenage years. So this stuff has been happening since you're 5. And you're starting to become an independent man and everything, and you're starting to understand, okay, I got to work to make money and stuff. So what I remember you saying something about the Job Corps, right?
Yeah. So pretty much, well, there was actually that time in basic as well. That I think the time in basic training and Job Corps were the two where it like really hit me like okay, this isn't just in my head, other people are seeing it, when other people start seeing stuff that you're seeing, that's a pretty good validation that you're not crazy.
That's kind of when shit gets real, right?
Yeah.
Your friends take it? Like your buddies come over and you're all playing your video games and stuff. Would stuff happen like that, or like when you're just chilling, or?
So like at Job Corps, like there was already a lot of like rumors and like, oh, the center's haunted, or this building's haunted, this wing in that building is haunted, this bed area is haunted. So there's always, that sort of thing. And people will just write it off and like, oh, it's just someone messing with me. But, when it never really happened, when there was like a group of us together, it would always happen when it was just one or two people. And I don't think anything ever happened during the day. At Job Corps during the day, there's a lot going on, and so you're not really noticing a lot of it. But yeah, at night, like one of my buddies woke up one morning. I think he said it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he gets up out of his bed area to go to use the restroom, and he turns down the hall. And he said that the second he turned down the hall, he saw this really big shadowed figure standing in front of my bed area, looking like it was looking into my bed area. And at that time, I was the only one in my bed area. So there wasn't like anybody else that could have been messing with me or anything like that. And, we had staff that would walk around and stuff, but the uniforms that they wear are the National Forest Service uniforms. So that kind of gets rid of the shadow, like figure look sort of thing of all black. And, and my bed area was the very first one to the junction between the two wings and then the hallway to the main room of the building. And so we always had the bathroom lights on. And he said that it was an obvious shadow that it wasn't a shadow being cast on the wall, pretty much.
Right.
Because there were no lights. What?
Right.
Yeah, because there were no lights coming from behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that, and you're going through this, how long after that did you meet your wife?
So at that point, I had already met my wife, and we were just kind of dating. I met her at Job Corps.
Okay.
But like nothing ever happened when she was around, sort of thing. But then again, it's a government facility. They don't like the whole fraternization thing, and yeah, they don't like the boys and girls being left alone together. So yeah, but I would probably say her and I had been dating for about 2 months when that situation happened. But nothing ever happened while she was around until after we were married, living in Northwest Montana.
Okay. So let's go to Northwest Montana. So now you're in a completely different state from where your attachment got to you. And now you're in Montana at a completely different property. Nothing,
Yeah.
So what happened then?
So pretty much my wife and I were at our little apartment in this little fourplex building in this.
The first apartment's the best one.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that place. Yeah, dude. But yeah, it's, East High School here in Utah in Salt Lake has a larger student population than the entire county that we lived in combined. Wow. I think East High School's student population is like 2,000. So yeah, like it's a small town.
Small town,
but,
yeah. I love small towns.
So yeah, there we are, just horse playing in our little apartment. We had just gotten a new dog. We had him for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And, we're just goofing around. And I remember I got behind her and I gave her like a bear hug thing, like around her waist. And our dog went from all excited, wagging his tail, to he's growling, his hackles are up, and he's like looking at us. And it freaked me out because he was a pit bull mastiff, so
Oh
he was
shit.
a really big pit bull, and it was at that point I kind of let go of my wife, thinking I'm about to get attacked by my dog, and he starts barking, and he kind of goes past me a little bit over to my wife, and I turn around, and there's my wife pretty much like holding her throat, and she can't breathe or nothing. She's not like she can't even cough or anything like that. And there's like a really weird gurgly noise coming out of her mouth. And I'm sitting there like, "Are you okay?" I'm like smacking the hell out of her back because I thought she was choking. And I finally, have the bright idea to move her hands off of her throat. And the second I do that, there's a very distinct like indent that would be there if somebody was putting pressure on your neck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if it was like that and they're like putting pressure on the neck, like the trachea was pushed in and the skin was kind of pushed back a little bit. So, I mean, it was like at that point, that's when I started realizing that, okay, like this isn't just about me anymore. And, that was just because it involved my wife. I think that was the most terrifying situation I've been in with it. So,
do you think it grew from that fear because it knew that you loved her so much?
Yeah, probably.
So then your daughter comes into your life. So now you have two people that you have to protect, right? So did it get worse from that point, or?
I wouldn't necessarily say it got worse. Like there was nothing physical happening, like no physical attacks, at least that I'm aware of. A baby can't really tell you, like, oh, I have a scratch or something choked me, yada, yada, yada. They can't say that. But there were definitely situations, especially when our daughter was a baby, where it was just like, okay, I'm no expert on kids, but I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to do that, or, we would, she would just randomly stop what she was doing and like look up at the little joint in the wall, the corner, and just start staring at it and like wave and stuff. When she was maybe about a month old, I remember a situation where she was really happy and everything, and just being a baby, and she had her binky in her mouth. She was real calm, and then just out of nowhere, it was almost like something like ripped the binky out of her mouth. Because I mean that thing like went up out of her mouth a solid maybe like 7 inches. And then she just started screaming bloody murder. Like, I can't even like describe, like, because she had never cried like that before, and she had never cried like that afterwards. Yeah. So I can't even, like, even when she got hurt, she wouldn't cry like that.
So what's your feeling on children being able to communicate with spirit? Do you think they're more susceptible to it? Did you?
Oh yeah.
You say your daughter had more experiences than you?
Oh yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, just going through this as a kid, I definitely feel that more stuff happened when I was younger than it does now. But I don't know if that's just because, like, I'm getting older. I'm not paying attention to it as much. Or, just whatever. But I definitely think that children are more susceptible to these sort of things.
And see, and based on everything I've done in the last 2 years, like it's really interesting that you say that, because I think it ties in with the child's brain is in the alpha frequency that's constantly absorbing and learning stuff. So it has a wider range of frequency, I believe. And I think once we hit that 18-year-old, kind of adult mode, that those frequencies shrink. And I think that's why we don't see it as much, compared to when we were children.
Yeah.
So are you still in Montana at this point when your daughter's born, or when did you move back to Woodcross?
So I think it was actually 2 months after the situation with my wife.
Okay. Choking?
That's about 2 months after that is when we moved back here to Utah. But we lived in South Salt Lake first before we lived in Woods Cross. And
like near Spanish Fort, or was it more north?
No, so it's like South Salt Lake is maybe a 5-minute freeway drive from downtown Salt Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we lived off of 3300 South and 500 East.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you get into this apartment, and that's when your family starts, right? This is where your daughter starts experiencing this stuff?
Yeah. So basically, well, even then, like, our daughter hadn't been born at that point yet. But that's where things really picked up. And I think that is where a lot of the negative energy came, to kind of give this thing power or whatever to do what it did. And, like, we had, our neighbor was this kind of like self-proclaimed witch or so he would do like these seances and stuff, and he'd be like, oh, well, how do you know how to do this? And he's just like, oh, it's just a gut feeling. And it's just like, bro, but
you knew what was attached to me. You don't want to piss him off.
Yeah,
dude,
like that.
I tell you what, man, being at your home and staying in that room, like I don't know how much sleep I got. I was just waiting for something to happen, dude. Look at that. But we'll get into that. So you're in your apartment in Woods Cross, and so what led up to you getting these videos that were on Paranormal Caught on Camera?
Yeah, so basically moved up here to Woods Cross, and the video from my job was pretty much like the first thing that like really happened after we moved up here. And it had been maybe like a year since we had been here. There had been nothing happening up here, all that stuff. And then I go to work one day, I walk in the building, and there's Ryan and there's the supervisor right there. We're getting ready to do the shift change and all that. And like something just felt off about it. It kind of felt like someone had just gotten their ass chewed out for messing something up. But I just kind of like got in there. I was like looking around, and there was just,
you had that gut feeling that
like that feeling like, should I maybe like go wait out there or something for a minute?
Right.
And I just remember looking at Ryan, then looking at the supervisor. I'm just like, did I miss something? Did someone just get yelled at? And they just, no, we're good. I'm like, okay, cool. So I put my bag up on the table and I'm getting like my lunch out and I'm putting it in the fridge. And, I had like this little portable DVD player and everything with some comedies like Out Cold and Austin Powers.
Just please tell me you didn't put your feet up on the desk because I was defending you on that picture.
Up on the desk, I was good. I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to say
nothing. We've all done it. We've all put our feet up on the desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So I was
not all settled in, and I think at the beginning of the video, before all the stuff goes crazy, you're like, Ryan just went out on patrol.
Yeah. It was 2:00 in the morning and we had our patrols set up for like in 30-minute increments. So he would do a patrol and then he'd come back. We'd bullshit for like 20 minutes. Then I would go do a patrol, come back, bullshit for 20 minutes. And, we'd just switch off. And so he had gotten up, he had walked out the door, and I was pretty much watching him walk to the car from where I was seated. And
nothing had started happening yet.
No, nothing had started happening.
Yeah.
He gets into the car and he drives off, and it's maybe, I want to say like a half of like this, the building we were at that we were having to watch is a massive building. It's a distribution center for a major company that distributes goods for private entities, the military, the government. So we've constantly got,
yeah.
So there's always people coming and going until around like midnight, and that's when everything's just dead. Because the truckers, they all have their DOT regs that they can't drive past a certain amount of hours. So the semis stop coming in, and then, we're pretty much like in the middle of this, of a massive international hub. And so, the military would have to drive, I think it's about an hour just to get out there, so they're not coming in the middle of the night. So after midnight till about 6, it's just dead. And,
okay.
So that we did have some trucks that were parked out there for like overnight waiting for the morning. But other than that, there was nobody there except me and Ryan. And, so I pretty much like watched him walk out to the car, get in it. He drives, and from where we were at till the first corner of the building, I would probably say it's a quarter of a mile. Like it's a massive place that we're watching.
Right.
And I watch him turn the corner, and then the car disappears. And as I turn back to look at my DVD player, I have to pretty much scan like the entire area of where vehicles come in and where all of the trucks are parked. So I pretty much have like an entire view of everything that I need to have a view of before I can even like look back down, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, because if I remember the video, like your phone, all the batteries charging and stuff, and there's nothing but windows. There's nothing but windows,
Yeah.
so you can see everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, we're out here on like the east end of the Salt Lake Valley, And so we don't have any deer down there or anything that could play with anything electrical. You know, all of the power stuff ran underground for the building. So there was no like wind wouldn't be like blowing the like wires around and causing it. All that shit's underground. You know, it was fairly dry outside. You know, I think it had snowed earlier for maybe about an hour, but at that point, I think it was all dried up. But
all right,
you
well,
know,
let me show the video to everybody
yeah,
watching, and you know, we'll just kind of stop afterwards, and we can break it down if you want. So,
yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Take off your TikTok page.
Oh fuck! Everything's going all fucking haywire. We got alarms going off. Fucking Ryan's out on fucking patrol. There's a fucking poltergeist or some shit in here. Oh, fuck that! Oh, no, fuck this. Holy shit. No fucking way did that just fucking happen. Fucking. No fucking way. No fucking shit did that just fucking happen. Holy shit. What the fuck?
I think you were bothered by it, man. Like,
Little bit. I would just like to add that a 2015 Harvard study shows that cussing is a sign of intelligence. So,
well,
yeah.
me and you must be the most intelligent people in the world.
Man. I can't tell you how many comments I got on my main page, like commenting on like, oh, this dude said fuck like 12 times.
Yeah, and I love the paranormal caught on camera one. It's all beep, 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 beep. Like they
yeah, it's just like half the thing is just beeped out.
Dude, so honestly, right when that started, did you feel anything before it like actually started, or do you remember like something's fucked up, like something's gonna happen?
So it was like you know, when you kind of get that feeling like something's watching you, and then you get like the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
Okay.
It felt like that. But,
right.
You know, I just figured like I've got, you know, a handful of trucks right there. Maybe one of the drivers just woke up and just looked out his window and saw me.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just wrote it off pretty much. And then everything just, yeah, bam.
How does that happen, dude? Like, I'm still, like, shit's flashing, lights on different circuits are flashing, the door slams. It's like so much going on, like, and it's just two of you there, and the other guy left. So what do you say to people that are like, oh, it's fake, blah 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 blah, you had it set up?
Like, there's really nothing that I can say to them, you know, because it's like I can't give out the location. You know, so I can't be like, well, go check it out for yourself. You know,
follows me, you know, I'll come to your place.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just kind of, you know, when somebody says, oh, it's fake, you know, all you can do in this sort of situation is just ignore it, I guess.
Yeah,
you know, like, can't.
You know, I know you're a soldier. You're right there. You're a soldier at heart, man. And I know you wouldn't lie. You know, I knew that from the beginning. I felt it in your video. Like I felt your pain. I felt you needed help, you know? And so that's when I reached out to you. And it took a year of talking with you, you know, and getting to know each other. And then finally your family went to Montana, and, you know, we were able to figure some stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
And it was exciting, man. I'm so glad I met you, dude. And
yeah, bro.
Reached out. So after that, is that when the remote control happened, or was that when the prank on your wife?
So the remote control happened, I would say, a week after that.
Okay. Right.
And then there was like a good long period where there wasn't anything major that happened. I would probably say I want to say about 3 years where nothing major had happened. And then, just one day decided to prank my wife, and there it was.
Do you think you kind of turned yourself off to it? After that stuff happened, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to pay attention to it, and maybe that's why it didn't mess with you for 3 years.
It's possible. I wouldn't say that I like necessarily turned myself off to it. Like there was still little things that happened. You would turn a light off and you'd walk away, then you'd come back and the light's on. You're like, I swear to God, I just turned that off, but okay. Doors open.
Bless
Excuse
you.
me. It's this cold weather, man. Cold weather.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But so yeah, just like little stuff where it's explainable, but the explanation isn't probable, sort of thing.
So tell me about the remote car. Was there batteries in it when it was going, or?
Yeah. So there were batteries in the car. There were batteries in the remote. But to my knowledge, I didn't like pick it up to check it afterwards. But I'm like 99% sure that both were off at the time. So yeah, like I was.
You want to see that one? Should we play that one for everybody?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So this is off of James' TikTok. What's your TikTok? You want to shout it out so people can follow you, or?
Yeah, sure. It's just James Fitzpatrick 18.
All right, there you go. So you can see these videos on his TikTok. But here's the remote car here. There's the remote in the middle of the floor.
The toy car is moving, and there's the remote for it. Depending on where you start from, choose
nice commercial, Ed.
No, that don't get it busted out our door, nothing.
That's the power of advertising. Howdy!
Yeah, dude, that's crazy, man. It just went forward, back. I mean, to do that, there's only 2 buttons on the remote, which would be a forward and back. And it's right there in the middle of the floor, dude.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. And then,
yeah.
Do you want to set up the prank on your wife one?
Yeah.
I love
that
this.
one's funny, just given the prank, dude. I had her going for like about 5 minutes before I even pulled out my phone.
All right. So you just got a new bank card, or
yeah,
she got a new bank card? All right.
Yeah. So I had just gotten a new bank card and discovered that on my bank's app, I could activate and deactivate the card at will, pretty much. And, I just wanted to make her feel silly and stuff. So she wanted to buy something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got you. Handed her my card, got into my bank, and I turned the card off. And she went to buy it and hit confirm purchase or order or whatever, and it comes up as transaction cannot be completed, and she tells me, so I'm like, no, the money's there. You must be doing something wrong.
See, the money's here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, I take it back and I buy something real quick, having turned it back on. I'm like, yeah, no, see, it's good. Give it back to her. I deactivate it again, and she...
I feel bad for your wife having to put up with your shit sometimes, dude.
I'm surprised she's been with me for 11 years, dude.
Well, that's love there. That's
Yeah.
the missing thing, man. All right, so we'll show everybody this video, but the main thing, as you see her reaction, if you look above her head, there's a doorway, and you'll see a shadow figure pop its head out, move it back, and that's your daughter's bedroom, right?
Yeah.
That's way at the back of the hall. That's where I slept. You know,
Yeah.
and watching that video, I'm like, why am I putting myself in this room with this thing? So, like, all right.
I thought you were batshit crazy, bro.
I'm like, I'll wrestle that thing if it comes to
Yeah.
it. All right, so here's the video. We'll show him. And this is on his TikTok channel. You see the little shadow there up by the door. Here, we'll play it again there. I'll pause it when the shadow pops out. Even your dog's looking at it weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. If you guys can't see, if you look at the doorway right below the window seal, there's a little like black circle there. It just keep watching that. You'll see it disappear. Boop, just like that. Yeah. So here it is at full speed again. And you can see his wife's reaction from the joke. So let's see. I think the spirit likes you, dude. I think your spirit's like Loki, dude. Like, because you caused mischief and it's decided to show itself. Like all this shit that it's done, dude. Like messing at your work.
Yeah.
Like I think you have Loki with you. God,
I better not.
Either you're Loki or
I am. I have yet to unlock my powers.
Yeah, Loki's cool, man. I like him.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
All right, so I got this video here. This is another TikTok video. It's a couple in England, and it's the same type of shadow effect.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference that I noticed between yours and this one is on this one, the blackness is more intense and more outlined. Like, I think it's fake.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies, who's a skeptic, he diagnosed it, and he said, yeah, it's possible. It's faked out. So as far as switching stuff. So what I tell people, if the shit's real, go live. It's going to happen anyways. Keep your phone on live feed.
Yeah.
Because it's happening right then and there. And if it's recording without timestamps, then you can't see if the video was cut. So that's the type of steps I take, for my stuff to make sure people say, well, it's not edited because the time's going through, or he was live, he was live while this was happening. So, and I got a couple clips of our investigation at your house too. So, and that was when I was live. So, but here's this clip on TikTok that's been getting a lot of attention. So,
peeking around this door today,
watch the doorway,
and we can see them on the front screen of the camera. Yeah. So, what we decided to do in an effort to prove that,
you see it?
In an effort to prove that these are real, I made Kaylee sit.
Watch the doorway.
Sit really close, and she's going to grab the camera as soon as we see one. And I'm pretty sure it screams pretty hard to see from it. To be fair, we've tried to push it back to get the best view. And she's going to grab the camera and get it up the stairs because there's literally nowhere to go on the stairway. There's no, yeah, you'd hear somebody running up the stairs. There's no other rooms to go in. So, you know what I mean? That's what we're doing. So, get ready, guys. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, here it comes. Get watch it.
Don't go with the screen because people say you've cut the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just try and grab it the best you can. Yeah, go. Quick.
See?
Anything?
Nothing. Nope. Nothing.
Show everywhere. Well, there's nowhere really to show.
No, there's nowhere to show. This is flat against the wood. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, guys.
So what do you think of that? What do you think of that one?
Oh. No,
He had two of
no, dude, no.
them. But see how much darker it was? I don't know if
Yeah.
it's because of technology now versus then with the camera.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, and like I said, my buddy Skeptic, he made a video where he had buddies sticking their heads out of the line and then edited it to where he came around. I don't know, man. Like, until I'm there and I'm actually feeling it, you know, I just don't doubt anybody. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So, you know, okay, this stuff's happening to you. I'll come out and I'll check it out, you know, and sure as shit, man, shit happens, you know, that I can't explain, you know. I mean, at your house, I think this was the night one when I first went live. We were sitting on the couch. We were watching some old movies. I think it was Lethal Weapon series. And,
What were we watching?
I'm pretty sure it was Lethal Weapon, but so back in that hallway, that's where the shadow came out. I have cat balls on the bed. So the cat ball is on the bed. So in order for that cat ball to go off, something has to be on that bed setting it off. And I know it's not the vibrations from his neighbors underneath, or else we would have heard banging, or the neighbors above, we would have heard banging on the floors. But it was quiet. And you can see my legs there, and James is filming. This is actually from your phone.
Yeah.
So you're filming all this stuff for me as it's going on. And we're sitting there. Just watch how many times that ball goes off. It's crazy.
Just coming out from under the bed, I guess.
It just keeps going off by itself.
Yeah.
And your dog came out of there all
Dude, my dog, dude, I was just looking at the screen and I just saw this black thing coming out. It freaked me
What
out.
happened, Mama?
That's your dog.
Yeah.
No, your dog liked to hang with us, but that thing keeps going off and it gets scared. I think it goes back in the room and
Yeah.
it's like, screw this. I'm not playing
Back
with
under
ghosts.
the bed.
Yeah. And that thing just keeps going off for like so many times.
Yeah.
And there's no explanation. I mean, you have to hit it. I mean, we proved it. I told you to stomp on the ground next to it to see what happens. And
Yeah. Well, and we switched them out too, because I was starting to, because none of the other ones were doing it. So I was thinking maybe that one was just faulty. So we put that one right next to the TV, and then we put the one that was originally next to the TV on the bed, and then it still kept going off on the bed.
yeah, and even this one on the ground, that before I went live, you could see your foot next to it.
Yeah.
And that's concrete. That's concrete. Like, it'd take a lot to step it off. Your foot's not moving or anything.
Yeah.
Chilling.
I just remember, like, there I am, like, trying to fucking make it move or something, and it didn't do nothing.
Yeah, you were. I mean, I invited you. I was like, dude, if you can explain it, you know, and you were trying to make it go off and everything.
Yeah. And I just remember like my right leg was really cold.
Cold.
Right
Yeah,
there.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. No, that was a good time, man.
Yeah.
So how have things been? Are you in that quiet 3-year period, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, something's gonna happen again.
Well, you know who to call, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's like the past few months, nothing has happened. Like absolutely nothing. So, I don't know. Like last time it was like this, that's when the video at work happened.
Yeah. So what did you think of how I tried to handle this stuff? I know you said that was the best sleep that you'd got, you know, that week, you know. So you know, what do you think?
Yeah, like I think like what you did was legit. You know, like typically
as far as the brine or salt water taking away the energy in the environment.
Yeah. Like normally I don't like being in places by myself just because of all of this stuff. You know, I always have that feeling that there's something else there, something's watching me, you know, all that stuff. You know, but then after that third day, after you left, you know, I think that was just that entire week was some of the best sleep I've had since I was 5 years old.
Wow. And see, that's what I'm trying to grow on, man. Like I'm growing my spiritual sense as well as my scientific one. And, you know, and I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you letting me come out into your home and trying to help you. You know, I'm sorry it didn't last as long as I wanted it to, but you know, maybe it's a stepping point. You know, maybe it takes a few times of doing it, you know, and then the spirit understands that, you know, these are good people or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm always here for you, brother. Always
Hell
will
yeah,
be.
bro.
I can't thank you enough for coming on my show today. You know,
hey, no problem.
If you want to see James' stuff, he's on Instagram and on TikTok. Just
so the Instagram has actually been switched to bike content. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's the best place for people to see your stuff? If you get any more evidence.
That stuff, it's just my main personal TikTok, the James Fitzpatrick 18. I did stop posting videos about it on there just because I felt like posting it was making it worse.
Which is a valid point, you know, because you're giving it that attention.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's but you know, if people ask questions and stuff, I'll always answer them and all that fun stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I thank you, brother. And just in the time that you've been in your car, I want to let you know I've seen 3 light anomalies by your head. But
oh, no shit.
You know, yeah, dude. I didn't want to say anything, so I'm kind of skeptic on those because I don't know if it's dust or whatnot. But it was kind of interesting how they were moving, and I don't think your car's on or anything.
Well,
or
the car. Open. So the car is on because I think it's like 26 degrees outside, and so I've got the heater going. But
I'll scratch it up. I'll scratch it up to dust. You know, I just it was interesting at the points it was showing up. So but I can't thank you enough, my friend. And like
no problem, bro.
If you ever need anything, I'm here for you. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right, brother. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is James Fitzpatrick and Jonathan saying have a good night, and we'll talk to you later. See you next week.